All right, happy Veterans Day. Obviously, it's a day that you got to remember what sacrifices and things that people have done for you. So we recognize that. As you guys know, we carry the flag out every game, and that's something that we treasure. We live in a great country here, and fortunate that a lot of men have made sacrifices for us. Busy weekend here. This weekend, got volleyball senior day Friday night, 2 basketball games on Saturday, and then Indiana State ball game. We got our seniors. We recognizing those guys before the game, so we look forward to that. Jumping on Indiana State, I think they're a much better team than the record indicates. You look at their record; they had a big win against Ball State. That was a 10-win team in the MAC last year. Pete Limbo's a very good coach. Had a win against Northern Iowa. I've said all along I thought Northern Iowa had one of probably the better defenses in the league. Had another big win at Southern Illinois. And probably the most intriguing game that I watched was against Illinois State. Came down to the wire at the end of the game, but they played with their backup quarterback the whole day. So, when you look at that Northern Iowa game, they had 2 fumbles going in. Could have been a bigger score than maybe on paper. But Coach Sanford's done a good job. Biggest difference I see with them is their line of scrimmage. They've improved and just got good players up front. Their offensive line's large, very big. Defensive line's very active. Offensively, Parrish does a great job managing the game. He's got 2 big receivers, one that can throw and do double passes and all those kind of things, and 165, 162. And Parrish does a good job of just, making you accountable for the whole football field, whether it's run, bubble screen options, and those kind of things off of that. Good running back, runs hard, physical kid. Defensively, the things that stick out is they have 62 tackles for a loss on the year, 24 sacks. Underwood, 55. He plays a defensive end, kind of a stand-up linebacker type guy. His brother played at Illinois State, very good player. He's a junior there, and he makes things happen. He's got I think 11 sacks on the year. They got 11 interceptions on the year. They get people in 3rd down and long quite a bit. So that means those tackles for a loss on 1st and 2nd down are paying off, so they can get people into long yardage situations. And, that's the name of the game. Got a good punter, probably the best punter in the league. He's got an explosive leg, good kicker. He's made 3 kicks over 40 yards on the year. So they're a good football team coming in here, and we look forward to suiting up and playing Saturday.
Coach, with all those things you just mentioned about their defense and the way the offense kind of, let's just say they weren't very productive in the second half against Illinois State. What are your thoughts against the Indiana State defense?
Well, I think we learned a valuable lesson that you got to execute. In the second half last week, I think we had the ball 4 times because we kicked off to them, and we had 2 9-play drives. And usually, when you have a 9-play drive, you come away with some kind of points, and we did not. And that was a lack of execution at different times. Once it was a 1st down call, once it was a 2nd down call, and then really one was a 3rd down. So Illinois State didn't do anything different than they had been doing really since the middle of the 1st quarter. We just didn't execute. This game still comes down to blocking, catching, throwing, tackling, doing the things that you're coached to do, and we felt like we didn't execute in the second half, and that's what happened. But hopefully it's a lesson that we've learned, that it's a 60-minute game, and you got to be able to step up to the plate and make things happen when your number's called.
Coach Sanford said a couple of weeks ago he thought Parrish was the best quarterback in the league.
He's pretty good. He does a good job of running their offense, running their system. He's a good football player. He's transferred from Western Michigan, I believe, and he's done a good job.
With your goals of making the playoffs, do you guys feel like a team that cannot lose again?
I think 5 wins this year will get any team in. If it doesn't, then there's a problem. I mean, 5 wins should get if you've played in Missouri Valley and you get 5 wins, you should be in the playoffs. So we take it one game at a time.
What does Parrish do? What sticks out about him? He's a good player.
Well, he's got run pass options. So if you're loaded up maybe to stop the run, he's got some options in the passing game. He's got a very accurate arm, and then schematically, they stress you as far as making you defend the whole field. Schematically, they're scheme wise. So and when you got a 6'5" and a 6'2" guy, and you got some guys around him, you have some options there, and big offensive line. Obviously, those guys are all over 300 pounds plus. I think one guy's 380 at the guard. So, that's something that you got to just realize that, hey, at some point you got to get off the block and make a play.
With that said, with the 5 wins, is it important to win this week so you don't put that pressure on having to win?
We always try to win every week, and that's part of this game. I think we've had that approach all year. It's not the first time we felt this way. We felt like Missouri State was a must-win, just like South Dakota State, just like Southern Illinois. It's not like this is foreign territory for us. So we understand that, and we know that we can do it when we execute and do what we're asked to do.
With those numbers, in your opinion, then without question, 4 teams from this conference could make this playoffs?
Oh, I think so for sure. I mean, some leagues get 5 in, so we should get 4.
Joey Cejudo had a rough day last week. He had a good day at South Dakota State.
I know, it's too bad. It's just one of those deals. Sometimes a guy has a bad day, and I don't know that there's a magic wand that you can wave and make the day better. I think you got to learn from it and make sure that you're ready to go. And, a lot of times in football, if you have a bad play, sometimes it lingers and maybe you let it affect another play. And that's something that you got to coach yourself out of.
Can you talk about Senior Day?
Senior Day obviously is a big day for our kids. All the families are here back in town, getting a chance to spend the game day obviously with their son. And this group of seniors have done good things. Really, when you think about it, they've won football games. They've been through tough times. They've been through some good times. They've been through some big wins in our program, and they deserve to be acknowledged, obviously, for some of the accomplishments that they've had in the past. And they've done a good job with leadership of our football team this year. We have a very young football team, and for those guys to kind of encourage all those guys to be all in and do the things they need to do on a regular basis is a credit to them.
It's important to have a rowdy crowd, a big crowd.
Oh, I mean, you've been to these away games, so you know what they're like. It's always good to have a home crowd, whether you're playing at South Dakota State or Fargo or even South Dakota for that matter. Those guys all have pretty good crowds and they're loud and they get on you and try to distract you and create crowd noise. So home field advantage or playing at home is supposed to be the home team's advantage as far as having a rowdy crowd. It's supposed to be sunny.
With the basketball teams, with what's at stake on Saturday, would you expect this to be your best crowd of the season?
I would, I mean, it's a great opportunity. We've got 7 wins. It's a big game. It's a good football team. This isn't the Indiana State of 10 years ago that maybe some people think that Indiana State is. You don't go to Ball State and beat them, a 10-win team. You don't beat Northern Iowa. So times have changed. These guys are good football teams. Everyone we play is, and we need to have a home field advantage.
Does it help having been in a similar situation before for the kids? They kind of understand. Last 3 games, the situation they're in. Maybe they learned from the mistakes from before. Does it help that they have any experience?
We had to pick our team up on Monday. I mean, they were just down. Just really down. And when they watch the film, they see it. I mean, it's not like the plays aren't there. you can't drive the field all the way down to the 16-yard line and not come away with points. It's just, and that's what's tough is they see it, they're like, wow, and it's just one thing here or there, and that's tough. That's tough, But they've responded, and they will, Illinois State's a good football team. I can tell you that. I told you guys that last week at this time. I thought they're the best team we played to that date. They had 11 seniors. We were playing with 4 or 5. So, but they had a good football team. They did a good job, and we squandered some opportunities. But we'll move forward and we learn from that. That's the whole key, is not having the same problem happen again.